joining me. I hope you are doing well and staying nice and healthy. Today we are going to focus on hips. You know, that's one of my favorite areas of the body, and this practice was suggested by my friend Dan. So Dan, this practice is for you and all those out there that loves to work their hips. You know, hips are one of those things that when they're tight, they can really have a huge influence on your posture. You know, that psoas that we talk about so often, if it's tight, it can really kind of work that lower back into a kind of uncomfortable position. So we're going to work on that today. Props that you might want to have handy, so I'll give you the list, and if you want to hit pause real quickly and run and get those if you have them. They're not absolutely necessary, of course, but it's always nice to have them available if you have them. So a block, obviously, which I'm sitting on right now. I'll probably use these little therapy balls for a couple little things during the practice. And if you have a blanket, the blanket can certainly work if you don't have a block. All right? So as always, this is your practice. And at any point during our time together, if something doesn't feel right, then absolutely make any adjustments that you need to do. I'm here to guide you through. We'll have some fun, okay? I'm very specific when it comes to the alignment of the postures, the asanas. So listen to them, and if they connect to your body, then we'll go with them. And if they don't, make the adjustmts that you need to make, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. If you have something to elevate your hips on, go ahead and do that. Come to a comfortable cross-leg position. Close your eyes. And we'll just take a couple deep rounds of breath, allowing that spine to be nice and in its normal alignment. And that's the positive about sitting on something that elevates your hips a little bit off the floor, is it allows that more natural ability of the spine, the curves, extension, flexion, offering those nice deep rounds of breath just to make this early transition to the mat. Breathing deep, we start to make that breath a little bit fuller, allowing it to move into the lower body space. And always, if you have a visual of that space that you want to send the breath to, that really helps. So in this instance, early on, let's visualize that space between the belly button, moving down just above the top of your pelvis. That's our target zone for the breath. We breathe. Our shoulders are a little bit on the heavy side, so they move away from the ears. We pull the shoulders back somewhat to open the chest, the collarbone, the heart space. So these very subtle changes within our body add to the efficiency of what is going on internally, energy flow, breath flow, and it allows the body to be in a much more relaxed state. We'll take a moment here to set this intention moving forward into the practice, understanding that the intention is a dedication, some motivation towards your practice. It can certainly shift as you move through, and if you can't come to an intention at this point, maybe we set one throughout the practice, or even at the end of practice as we leave the mat. We'll bring our hands into prayer position to the heart. We'll offer a deep, full breath, and we bow our heads as we exhale. We lift the chin, release the hands, blink open our eyes, and from there, if you're elevated on something, you can stay there, but it might be more comfortable for you for what we're going to do next to release that block. Let's take the right shin and cross it in front of the left. Okay, so the shins are roughly parallel to the side of the mat. Take your hands behind you and roll the shoulders back and sit up as tall as you can, opening across that upper chest. And then simply just start to move that chest forward, keeping your sit bones on the floor, feeling the outer hips get a little bit more active. And it's early, so we'll take our time finding a little bit deeper expression. Hands can transition out front. Of course, you can always use your block to rest them on if that's comfortable. And offering some deep, full rounds of breath. And as you exhale, it's creating that opportunity to find some deeper length in the body. Taking some deep rounds of breath and allowing your drishti or focal point to be just a little bit beyond your fingertips. So your heart space is moving in that general direction. A couple more rounds of breath. And then from this position, as we extend our heart forward, maybe the hands walk a little bit further forward, we're simply going to take our hands, and I'm not mirroring you all. I'm going to walk my hands to the left. You're going to walk your hands to the left, and you're going to feel the outside of that right hip get a little bit more active. And you're going to just take that heart space and try to move it forward. Move it away from that right side body, allowing that right hip to get a little heavier. Always the opportunity to take that right hand and then root that right hip down if that feels good for you. Taking a couple rounds of breath here. Full cycles of breathing, just opening that side body. Connecting to the sensations that this posture is offering. And then when we come back into neutral, maybe we extend the fingertips just a little bit further out, and then we walk it over towards the right. We start to open that left side of our hip, stretching and breathing. Again, that left hand can come to the crease of that left hip, and you root it down, okay? Taking some deep breaths. And you all see the fireplace going in the background. It's a little chilly this morning. Not sure where everybody is practicing with me today, but those of you who are in Western North Carolina watching this video, it's a little chilly this morning, so this fireplace is a nice addition to the practice. We'll come back into neutral and allowing that core to be nice and strong, and we're going to roll the shoulders back and place them over our hips as we sit up as tall as we can, engaged belly. This time we're simply going to take that right hand to the left knee, left hand comes behind you, and we're going to do a nice gentle twist to the left. Stretch. Sit up as tall as you can. Now we're going to do 2 rounds of this, okay? You're going to come back into neutral and you're going to simply twist to the right. Awesome. Come back into neutral, roll back, simply switch the cross. Left now moves in front of the right. Shins are parallel, ankles are flexed, hands behind you. Sit up, roll the shoulders back, and extend the heart forward. Noticing that as we begin to move a little bit deeper into the practice and the body begins to warm up, you have some more space. Okay? The hands can come forward. Again, you can use your block if that's comfortable. Stretching, walking the hands a little bit further out, keeping the sit bones rooted into the floor, so a nice little heavy seat. Now, as we move this time, we're going to do opposite of what we did before to start. So we're going to walk our hands to the right. So that outer left hip gets a little bit active again. Left hip moves down, stretch. Perhaps, if you have the room, you can walk the hands a little bit further towards the right, going a little bit more into the side hip, the intercostal, the rib muscles. Even allow that left hand to kind of move a little further out so you stretch that left back body. Good. Come back into neutral, and if we can find a little bit more length as we come back before we start to transition over to that left side. Rooting that right hip, stretching that right side body, and then maybe that right hand stretches a little bit further away. A couple rounds of breath. Remember, when we do these kind of twisty forward fold type actions, very often the breath, it's hard sometimes to breathe. Just stay with the breath, breathe deeply into the body space, and the body will find its position of relaxed. So then it'll make it easier to take those deep full breaths. Come back into neutral, strong core, last little bit of stretch here, reach. Good, strong core, come all the way back. Lift the heart, left hand, right knee, twisting over towards the right. Right shoulder moves back. Nice full rounds of breath. Sitting up tall. That right hand can be a little heavy. Shoulders are back. And then switch sides. Good. Couple more rounds. Awesome. Come back into neutral. Take a deep, full breath. Shoulders up towards the ears and just drop them on an exhale. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Nicely done. Let's roll to all fours, hands and knees. So from this position, traditional, shoulders over the wrists. Knees are going to rest underneath your hips. Knees are about hip width apart. Tuck the toes under to activate the soles of the feet. And just a little bit of back and forth to get us started here. Just kind of stretch a little bit of movement. And then from this position, it's not really a cat-cow, it's more like a rocking chair position. And then from this position, start to do some circles clockwise. Finding some space in those joints, the shoulders, the knees, absolutely the hip joint, okay? Squeezing the inner thighs together, squeezing the forearms together, and breathing. We'll do a couple more in this direction before we switch to counterclockwise. Strong core, breathe. You can make these circles as big as you'd like. Hands are nice and connected to the mat, so it's almost as if you're cinching down on your fingertips. Come back into neutral, and then opposite direction. Good. Keep that action of trying to find the midline. Forearms move in. Inner thighs move in. And breathe. Awesome work. Let's do 2 more. Breathe. Good. Come back into neutral. Bring the knees a little bit closer together and extend that left leg straight back. Now, push that left ball mount into the floor. Left thigh is super active. Round your back a little bit. Now, as you inhale, you're going to stretch the shoulders back, take your heart forward, and you're going to exhale round. Push into your hands and round your upper back. Now, we're going to move a little bit here. We're going to shift and lift that left leg as we inhale, stretch, reach, and then as we exhale, that left foot's going to come back to the floor and we're going to round our back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. 10 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale for 9. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale for 7. Stay with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale for 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Release for 2. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Now, come into neutral with left leg lifted. Rotate the left toes towards the right so you feel that outer left hip move down a little bit. Rotate the left toes and open them up towards the left so that left hip is starting to open up a little bit. Stretch that left foot outside the left hip. Pinky side of that left foot is heavy. Right hand moves into the floor and that left hand moves up into a twist. Stretch, reach, left arm moves over. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left hand comes down. Keep your left leg where it is. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Maybe that little rocking chair movement as you inhale, move forward. Exhale to release. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Two more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And neutral. Left knee back underneath the hip. Let's take this sweatshirt off with the combination of the fireplace and movement. It has gotten a little bit warm. So, back to our cat-cow position. From that position, extend that right leg straight back. Push the ball mount in, round the shoulders. Inhale here, exhale round. Inhale, lift that right leg off the floor. Reach the right foot down. 10 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Five more. Stay with the rhythm. Two more. And then come into your neutral position with that right leg lifted. Rotate the right toes towards the left so you feel that outer right hip. Open the toes towards the right, and then from there you're going to step that right foot outside the right hip. Super strong on the left hand, right pinky side is heavy. That right arm comes up towards the ceiling. Stretch. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Right hand comes over the right ear. Stretch. Breathe. Inhale here. Right hand comes down. Start your cat-cows. Inhale. Maybe a little bit of rocking chair movement. Okay? What feels good for the body, we stick with. Couple more rounds. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Awesome. Back into neutral, knees underneath your hip. Now, from here, you're simply going to take your hands to your hips. Now, from this position, you're going to step that right foot forward into a low lunge. Now, shoulders are back, right foot is heavy. Pull that right foot back a little bit and drop those hips, just enough to activate that left side. Okay, keep the left toes tucked if that's comfortable. Now, from there, we're going to take the arms out, palms face each other. Shoulders are going to move back. We're going to move into a cactus position. Now, belly's back, ribs back, shoulders back. Gaze is straight forward, neutral spine. Breathe. 5, 4, 3. Maybe drop the hips down a little bit more for 2. Now, as we inhale here, we're going to exhale, pull the hips back slightly, and draw the forearms together. Now open back up again. Drop the hips. 5 of these. Squeeze in. Open up. Breathe. Good. 2 more. One more. Stretch. Now release the hands to either side of that right foot. Maybe the left foot moves back just a little bit. We're going to lift that left knee, and that left heel is going to turn in. Hands are going to walk off the side of the mat to the left. You're going to walk them out a little bit, stretching into your lunging warrior. Right hip gets deeper into the position towards the floor. Pull that right hip back and stretch. Couple rounds of breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk it back into a runner's lunge, hands on either side of that right foot, and then start a little bit of bounce with your hips. Just up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left knee down, right foot back, hands to hips, lift the heart. Take a breath. Step that left foot forward, low lunge, okay? Strong in the hips, outer hips move in, shoulders move back, arms move out, pull the shoulder bones back, cactus. Now, let that left foot get a little bit heavier so you feel that right side's turn to get a little bit longer. Stretch. Keep those ribs moving back, keep the belly moving back, keep the heart space open, okay? Now, we'll inhale here. We'll pull the hips back slightly, bring the forearms together. Open. Breathe. 5 more. Good. Stay with the breath. 2 more. Open. Stretch. Hands to either side of that left foot. From that position, that left knee, right knee is going to lift, right heel is going to turn in. We're going to walk our hands off the side of the mat to the right. Now this left hip is going to pull back. Even allow that left hip to drop down a little bit and stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk it back to a runner's lunge. Now from here, start your hops. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right knee down. Take your left knee back underneath your hips. Now, if it's comfortable for you here, either come back to a seated posture or just sit back on your heels for just a few rounds of breath before we transition. Taking some deep offerings of breath, rolling the shoulders back. Now we're going to include a little bit of hip work here and a little bit of shoulder work here. So, from this position, whether you're on a seated posture or hips to heels, take your right hand behind you, lean in a little bit. Lean back into that right hand. Roll that right shoulder open. Maybe the hips elevate just a little bit off of your heels. Take that left arm. Circles. We'll do 5 each direction. Okay? 4, 3. Stay strong in the legs. 2. 1 more. And 1. Reverse the circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips back. Left hand comes behind you. Roll that left shoulder open. Again, if you want to lift the hips up a little bit, right arm starts moving in a circle. 5, 4, 3. Good. 2, 1. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come back to all fours. Position the toes and stretch it back into your first downward dog. Now, once you come into downward dog, simply pedal the feet back and forth a little bit. Stretch. Okay? Move around. Just like we did in seated posture. Move around a little bit. Pedal the feet. Okay? Start to secure the hands into the mat. So grip the mat with the fingertips. Take your upper back in. A little bit of bend in the knees so we have that ability to tilt our pelvis back and forth. Good. Now from this position, we're going to walk our feet off the back of the mat. We're going to walk our hands down the center line of the mat, and we're going to bend our knees a little bit. Now, from this position, I'm going to look towards the top of the mat. I'm going to move my shoulders back. One hand to the hip, or one hand to the knee, second hand to the knee. Now I'm going to lift my upper back, and I'm going to come into a back bend. I'm squeezing the inner thighs together, and I'm sending my seat back, so I'm tilting the pelvis forward. Left shoulder to the right foot. Back into neutral. right to the left. We're dipping. Strong in the hips, strong in the core. Good. We'll do 10, 5 each side. 10, 9, breathing and moving. 8, 7, 6, 5. Nicely done, almost there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back into neutral. Stretch your arms out, maybe drop the hips down a little bit. Keep your seat moving back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to the floor, walk them back out. Now from here, you're going to step the legs back to hip width apart. Now from here, we're going to heels high, inhale. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, stretch the heart forward. Left foot moves back, shift to the right. Left arm is going to move up towards the ceiling. Stretch. Right arm, left arm comes over your head. Stretch. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start to swing that left arm around. 5 each direction. Moving all aspects of the body with a little bit extra concentration on those hips. Left foot is heavy, pinky side. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Switch that circle direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to all fours. Tuck the toes under. Stretch it back into downward dog. Exhale. Stretch and reach. Good. Second side. Heels high. Knees down. Exhale. Inhale. Right foot back. Left hand comes up to the ceiling. Stretch. Right arm comes over. Start your circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach it back. All fours, take your knees about mat width, even mat width if that's comfortable. Scoot your hips back towards your heels, stretch your arms out, and find a child's pose. Now, you can rest your forehead on the floor. You can rest your forehead on the block. Squeeze the inner thighs together, and even a little tuck of the tailbone to add some weight towards your hips into the heels. Roll the shoulders open. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk your hands back about halfway, keeping the position of the legs the same. Take your right hand and simply cup your left knee. Take that left hand outside that left knee and root both into the floor and open up towards the left. Simple little twist here. Now keep both hips moving down into the heels. Move the shoulders back, move the heart forward. You're going to breathe here for 5. Root down. Keep that upper chest lifting towards the ceiling. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look down first. Simply switch sides. Left hand, right knee. Right hand comes out. Now we're not collapsed. We're elevated. Move into that upper back, that thoracic. Open up to the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look down. Root your hands firmly into the mat. Now squeeze your inner thighs together. Come back into that wide leg, all fours, and then reach it back. Round your back as you come forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to dog pose. Stretch it back. Nicely done. Breathe. Now from here, we're simply going to walk our feet halfway up the mat. Walk your hands back so our feet are parallel. Hands rest on the shin for the first round. As you inhale, move your heart forward. Stretch your shoulders back. Send your seat back, so tilt it forward. Find that stretch in the hamstrings. Let the creases of the hips move into the body space. And then from there you can fold. Sway the hips back and forth a little bit. Now, from here we're going to bend that left knee a little bit. We're going to work on straightening that right leg. Notice that I'm in that half lift, that Ardha Uttanasana position. We're going to move. We're going to kind of pump the body a little bit here. We're going to inhale, stretch, right thigh back. As you exhale, both knees bend. Inhale, right knee bends, left leg straight. Both knees bend as you fold. Keep switching as you alternate. Right leg straight. Left leg straight. Now I'm going to count silently from 10 to 0. Okay? Keep switching, so roughly 5 each side. Go at your own pace, beginning now. Three, 2, and 1. Half lift, a little bit of softness in the knees. Root down, swing your arms up over your head, stretch up, get long. Exhale, hands come to your side body. Nicely done. Take a couple rounds of breath here. Breathe. Full cycles of breathing. Find your parallel feet, shoulders are back. Now we're going to do a couple half sun salutations. Now, if you have your therapy balls, you can use a blanket. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of work on kind of massaging that hip region, the creases of when we're in some low lunges. You can hit pause, you can run and get them now. Otherwise, if you don't have them, it's totally fine. Let's give it a try. So turn around, face the top of your mat. On the inhale, take your arms up, stretch. Knees are soft as we fold. Exhale, hands to the shin or floor. Half lift, inhale, exhale, release. Inhale, lead with your heart all the way up, and release. Let's just do 2 more, continual movement. Inhale, arms up. Knees are soft as we fold to the floor. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand tall, leading with the heart. Release any pressure from the lower back. Exhale to Tadasana. 1 more, full round. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Leading with the heart, stretch the arms up and over. And we come back into Tadasana. Good. Now we'll start with that right leg back. So inhale, arms up. Exhale to fold. Half lift, inhale. Right leg is simply going to roll back. Right knee is going to come down to the floor. We're going to grab one of our therapy balls, and we're going to take that ball and we're going to kind of tuck it in that hip. And all we're going to do is we're going to fold over into that left thigh. Hands are going to stay on either side of that left foot. You can move that right leg back a little bit if you'd like, dipping that left hip down so that compression onto the ball from the lower portion of the upper thigh to the hip and the belly is compressing it, massaging those hip flexors, okay? Breathe. Strong core. 5, 4. Again, this can be done with a towel or a blanket. 3, 2. Now root your right hand down. Lean a little bit to the right. Keep that pressure on that ball. Take your left arm and start to swing it around. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse the circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left hand down. Come back into neutral. Slowly reach back. Now, take your ball, place it off to the side. Tuck the right toes under, lift that right knee, bring it forward, half lift. Exhale, fold. Standing tall, inhale, stretch. Nice release back into our Tadasana. Full cycle of breath here before we move to second side. Exhale. Second side, inhale, arms up. We find our fold, exhale. To the half lift. Left leg moves back, left knee comes down. Find our therapy ball. Okay, tennis ball works well, even a golf ball. Wrap it in a hand towel. Take that ball, tuck it in that hip, and then compress it. Giving that hip flexors a nice massage. Maybe that left foot scoots back a little bit as you find a little bit more length on that left side. Stretch. This pose is multifaceted. Working the hips on the right, lengthening on the left, massaging on the right. Okay? Now, a couple rounds of breath. Stretch the heart forward. Breathe. 5, 4, 3. Stay with it. 2, 1. Left hand to the floor. Strong and committed side body. Right arm starts to move in a circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse the circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Square. Hands back up. Take that ball, release it back to the floor. Left knee lifts, hop it forward. Stretch. Breathe. Fold. Standing. Stretch. Reach. And get long. Couple rounds of breath back in our Tadasana posture before we switch. Do a little bit of standing sequence and we're coming back to the floor. Hope everyone's having a good time, enjoying themselves, exploring the body, working the hips. Nice little add-ons to the shoulder and some work in the thoracic and a little bit of tap into the hamstrings. Full cycles of breathing. Good. Second side. Standing postures. Okay. Inhale, arms up, stretch. Let's find the floor, exhale. Half lift, inhale. Right leg is going to step back. Now, take that left foot, inchworm it to the left a little bit, like you're on railroad tracks. Right heel down, left. Okay, so square. Pull that left hip back. Draw that right side forward so you're nice and square. Now, here, shoulders back. Back into cactus. Now we're going to do a very similar action to what we did before. We're going to inhale, open. We're going to exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, open up a little bit, pull those hips back. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch that left leg long, left ball mound is heavy, hands to the hips, and then from that position start to pull that left thigh back and stretch your heart forward. Now that left knee can be as bent as it needs to be. Stretch, 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 but that left hip is pulling back. Hands can rest on the shin, or if you have the room, let the hands come down to either side of that left foot. Stretch. Now, a little bit of bend in that left knee. Left foot, pinky side is rooted, but let's take that left ball mound and push it into the floor. Maybe use our left heel of the hand and pull that left hip back. Breathe. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your left hand on the inside, hop to the ball mound of the right foot, drop your right knee down, and then scoot your left foot either on the mat or, if you have the room in the hips, take it off the mat. Hands can rest underneath the shoulders, so we can do a nice wide leg low lunge here, or if we have that range, take those left toes and move them out about 45 degrees. Make sure that that left knee stays in alignment with that left foot. Right hand to the floor. Maybe we come into a nice twist. That left hand can move to the left knee. So this is kind of a variation of lizard pose. Right hand gets heavy, so we move that heart up. Left shoulder moves back. Now, a little trick here is to take that left heel and push it into the floor. And once you do, try to pull it back, and then that right hip is going to move towards that left heel as you stretch. Wonderful stretch for the hip flexors, the thigh, both sides. Breathe, working a little bit of spinal twist, detoxing the body, rinsing out those organs. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back into neutral. Both hands to the floor. Back off and then inchworm that left foot back into center so your low lunge, right knee lifts, step it forward. Half lift, fold, standing, stretch, reach, lengthen, and we release. Let's move right into the second side. Arms up, inhale. Nice deep fold, exhale. Half lift, inhale, left moves back. Again, take that right foot a little bit wider so you feel like you're on railroad tracks. And then from there, we're going to square our hips, square our ribs, square the shoulders. That right hip is active. You're trying to pull it back. That assists in squaring that left side. Now, arms out, shoulders back, cactus, ribs back, belly back. Now, inhale, squeeze in. Open up. Good. 5, 4, 3. Stay with it. Whoop. As I fall over. 2 more. And release. Right leg is long. Right foot is heavy. Right hip moves back. Shoulders are back. Squeeze and then start to roll that shoulders back as your heart moves forward. Hands to the shin. Hands on either side of that right foot. Now, pinky side is rooted. Maybe we take that right hand and push into that right ball mount as that right hip pulls back. Breathe. 5, 4. Find your length in your spine. Walk your hands forward if that's comfortable. 3, 2, 1. Soften that right knee, hop to the ball mound of your left foot, drop the left knee, move that right foot either off the mat or just a little bit wider. Roll the toes out about 45. Left hand to the floor, sink those hips. Now we're not collapsed here. We want to be strong, push down, lift up. Right hand to that right thigh and then roll open towards the right. Now again, that little trick is to root that right heel down, pull it into the body so that left hip moves over towards the right and stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Look down. Now, from here, we're simply going to step that right foot back into an all-fours position, and we're going to tuck the toes under, and we're going to come back to our hands to hips. Now, from here, we're going to step that left foot forward back into a low lunge. Now, from here, we're simply going to take those hips down a little bit. So we've got some more room that we've opened up in that right side. So from here, we're going to take that right hand down. Okay, keep that right knee in a pretty neutral position, just simply open to the left. Okay, this is the final little phase of that deep hip work. Okay, stretch. Now kind of come back into neutral, ease off the posture, tuck the right toes under, and move your right knee back a little bit, maybe 2 inches, 3 inches, okay? Whatever's comfortable. Place it back down onto the floor, and then stretch and reach again, turning to the left. Breathe. Deep, deep stretch on that right side. 3, 2, 1. Ease off a little bit, come back into neutral. Last one, scoot that right knee back a little bit further, okay? Push in, round up, and open to the left. Good. 3, 2, 1. Come into neutral. Simply take your left hand back to the floor. Scoot your left leg back and just simply transition, okay? Left hand heavy. Right knee is left knee is more of in a neutral position. Initial stretch. Open up towards the right. Stretch. Couple rounds of breath. Both hands can be heavy. 3, 2, 1. Ease off it a little bit. Tuck those left toes under. Move that left knee back just a touch, a couple inches. Then re-engage. Open up to the right. Stretch. Awesome. Last one. Tuck the left toes under. Move that left knee back a little bit further. Drop those hips. Last one. Open up to the right. Stretch. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Release. Back off a little bit. Slide that right knee back. Let's come to a seated position and come to Baddha Konasana. You have your block. Let's connect back with that. Now from here, let's simply bring the soles of the feet together. We'll use the block in a minute. Okay? Soles of the feet together. Knees are out. We want to feel that the knees are moving away from us. Hands behind us. Now roll the shoulders back. Pull that belly in. Now, the actions are, we're going to push the soles of the feet together. Okay, just kind of feel those knees and inner thighs get active. Anyone who has some inner groin issues, this is going to probably feel pretty good. You want to find some length and some stretch, okay? But there's a lot of stability that we're creating here. Shoulders back. And then just, if you'd like, you have the room, you can lean your heart forward just a little bit. We'll hold each posture with the block, without the block, and then with the block for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow release. Stay active in the legs. Okay, we're not relaxing them. Take that block. Take it on this side. Put it in between the soles of the feet. Now actively push the feet into the block. Take your hands behind you. Try not to round your back and collapse. Lift up, stretch, push the feet into the block, and lean your heart forward. 5, 4, 3, stay with it, 2, and 1. Release, keep the legs active, simply flip the block to its flat side, okay? Soles of the feet move in, hands move back. Again, we're not collapsing, we want to lengthen, so shoulders are back, heart is open, push that block, lean the heart forward, and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Good. Strong in the legs. Take it one more notch. Okay? I know. Soles of the feet together. Shoulders back. Heart open. Squeeze and lean into it for 5, 4. Feel that space in the hip joints. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Now, for a little bit of fun, bring the soles of the feet back together and maybe see if there's a little bit more space. Maybe draw those heels a little closer in towards the pelvic floor. Last one, shoulders back, knees apart, soles of the feet heavy towards the midline, and stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Release, lift up. Take that right shin back in front of the left, so we're back to the original position that we started in. Now, from that position, take your left hand out to the side. Take your right arm simple up and over, okay? That right hip is heavy. That left hand can be as far out as you want. Now, we're going to move a little bit here, okay? Now, that right arm is going to dip down towards that left knee, and you're going to sweep it across, moving it to the outside of the right hip, and that left arm comes up. Stretch. Now the left arm is going to move down and sweep it across. You can lean as far forward as you want as that right arm moves up and over. Now, you can go at your pace. Okay, just kind of moving back and forth. Stretching and reaching, keeping those hips nice and anchored. Reach. Opening the side body. Good. Let's do about 10 more. Just keep moving and breathing your pace. Good. Breathe. Five more. And one more each side for good measure. And come back into neutral and release. Take a deep, full breath. Exhale. Perfect. Now, let's come to our backs. We'll do a little bit of work from our reclined position, and then we are going to find our Shavasana. So as you come to your back, take the soles of the feet to the floor, and just kind of let your lower back move in. Your knees are about hip width apart, feet are flat, okay? You can move your arms over, you can move them into a cactus, whatever feels good. We'll just be here for a moment. You can even bring the soles of the feet together and just kind of let the knees move out. Very what we were just in, but now we're reclined. Couple breaths. Now, from here, release the arms. You can rest them on the belly or the chest. Bring the knees up. Now, we're going to do a figure four here, but we're going to do it with a focus on this rotation of this outer right hip. So normally we take that right foot and hang it over the edge of that left knee. We're not going to do that today. We're going to take that right foot and we're going to place it right in the center of that left thigh. Now I'm going to take my left foot and I'm going to inchworm it to the right a little bit. And then I'm going to drop my knees to the left. Notice that my right foot is, or my right ankle is very flexed, okay? And it is, but my sole of the foot is not touching the floor. Okay? Now, that right knee is in kind of a neutral position. I'm going to ease off of that a little bit and start letting it move away from me. Now, you can take your left arm behind you, stretch. Okay? You can take your right arm behind you, stretch. And you want to allow gravity to do a little bit of work here with that right knee, okay? But stay super committed to the flexing of that right ankle, all right? We'll just breathe here. A couple rounds of breath, maybe 5, 10 breaths. You're really allowing gravity to do a lot of the work, but you're staying with the posture. You're staying active. You're staying tied into the sensations that you are experiencing. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, and then slowly come back. Take the right foot to the floor and simply switch sides. So now you'll see the action from a different perspective. Take that right foot, inchworm it to the left a little bit. Left ankle is flexed. Knees are going to fall towards the right. And that left knee is going to move away from me, okay? Now, hands on the chest, belly, or arms back and over. I like this because it just gets you a little bit more length. And if you can, try to get the shoulders flat onto the floor. Don't force anything, of course, but just try to balance out that distribution of weight into the mat. Good. A few more breaths. Stay with it. Combination of gravity, awareness of that left ankle, committed to the breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drawing back into neutral. Take both feet to the floor. Now bring that right knee into the chest. Just give yourself a little bit of a squeeze. Now you can simply stay here. This is a really nice release of that right hip joint. You can also take that left leg straight out. If you have the room, let's come into a half happy baby pose on that right side. So grab the pinky side of your right foot if you can access it. Otherwise, just grab behind the knee. And then from there, add a little bit of weight. Maybe that left foot stretches out. Now if that left foot stretches out, take that left hand and kind of push that left thigh down. Activate it. Just 5 breaths. Okay? 5. And release. Start with that right foot on the floor. Bring that left knee in. Squeeze it. Maybe we stay here. Maybe we move to happy baby pose. That left knee moves down a little bit. That right leg can move out. That right hand then weights that right thigh down. 5 breaths. And release. Let's bring that right leg up. Let's match the happy baby pose. So full version, shoulders are down. Lift up the chest or the chin or the back of the head just a little bit and a little side to side stretch. And then release the head back down towards the floor. Stretch. If you have the room, bring the soles of the feet together. Drop the heels a little closer towards the pelvic floor. Relift that head and then just gently move the knees away from you. Strong core. 5, 4, 3, belly back. 2, inhale, happy baby pose, exhale. And then from that position, bring your knees back in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. If you have some extended time and you would like to add some additional postures to your practice, you can simply hit pause, do those postures, and then come back and join us in just a few minutes. Otherwise, let's go ahead and find our reclined position as we enter into Shavasana. So allow the legs to move out long, maybe take them a little bit wider than your hips, and let your arms rest alongside your body. Palms can face up to give you that openness within the body space. Take a deep, full breath. Exhale fully. And from that position, we'll take a couple minutes here in Shavasana to relax and restore. For those of you who have an extended time for your Shavasana, you are welcome to stay in this position and rest and store for as long as you would like. Those who are limited to the time that we have together today, start to move your fingers and toes, start to awaken the body gently and mindfully, keeping that wonderful sensation that has come from the practice of moving our hips and deepening our breath, working our spine, and then perhaps the arms stretch up and over your head, taking a deep full breath. And then from that position we move into a seated posture, comfortable, whatever that is for you. Once we come to our seat, take a moment to connect to that posture, and then reconnect to your intention of this practice. As we talked about in the beginning, if an intention wasn't set in the beginning of the practice, then take a moment here to set one as you move into the rest of the day. The body's in a different position than it was about an hour ago, so sometimes the intention away from the practice is as beneficial as going into the practice. We draw our hands to prayer position to the heart. We offer a deep full breath, and as we exhale, we bow our heads. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Be well, be safe, and we will see you again soon. Thank you. Namaste.